momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after him early.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Yeah, I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is third and long. Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
Hey, Echo. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence looking for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, second and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready? Ten Lobo.
You got nothing to work. You got nothing.
From the gun, Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Ready?
57.
Leo.
I got you. He's checking. Crash.
Let go.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 23 here on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On the draw, here's Sanders. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having.
Got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return is Cohen. A very good return that time. 18 yards, and the Bears take over. A first update now from Cincinnati, and it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Squeeze.
Slam, slam, slam. Shoot.
Hey, orbit. Big rip.
On first down, Lawrence. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
6-6. Pull it high.
Whip.
Go. Shoot.
Off play action. Lawrence going up top for Miller. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Desmond King picks it, and he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
We got 4.
2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Well, that's complete to Sanders. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here comes Cohen. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thee coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3-and-out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run with Sanders. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Vikings on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Lawrence. It's complete. It's Miller. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so. They need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Looking to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 35. There he goes left side. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Over the middle, complete. It's Hoover. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Lawrence. Buying time to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked out and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down now, it's Sanders. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Now Cohen, and down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming.
Ready.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. There he goes right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Interception, baby, all day, all day.
Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Well, no, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check 31.
Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Back to throw. Lawrence. And he's got Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That's plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Ready?
Now.
2nd and 2. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Exit.
On first down, Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he's into the clear. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So call off the pick six.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on Ringo.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. By the way, they're into the second half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, wahoo!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
Ready?
Off the play fake. Lawrence. He'll find Miller. That's complete. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Hey, Haywood! Shoot!
On 3rd and 2, Lawrence gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 1. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Back now at Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. On third down, a run with Cohen. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time. Let's get off the field. 66. Bullet. Ready.
On 2nd down, it's Sanders. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Vikings on third down. A very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
58 for Mike, 58.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post Because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. Which I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
On the ready. Get it.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
You draw courses. 8 read.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's going to be caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front.
As Sanders has it poked free.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And the Bears in the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on third.
Could play an exotic coverage.
Here's Sanders. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. This time, good ball security and a good result. 1st and 10. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on. High 7, let's go.
58, right over there, yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Squeeze, get in there. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Bears, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Guys, last time we were out here, coaching staff didn't like what we saw. You all know it wasn't good enough. So let's make up for that today.
Good set. Good night, team. Good set. Good night, team. Down, go. Good set. Good night, team. Down, go. Good set. Good night, team. Up and go. Good set. Good night, team. Down and go.
All right, this is it. The gold standard. We are going for gold.
All right, man, let's go. Bring it in tight. All right, let me tell you something. Championship teams have one thing in common. Great practice habits. And if we do that every day, there's no reason we can't win a championship.
Good set. Good night, team. Down and go. Hey, we gotta snap it. We gotta snap it. Good set. Good night, team. Down and go. Good set. Good night, team. Down and go. Hey, no timeout. Good set. Good night, team. Out and go. Good set. Good night, team. Out and go. Good set. Good night, team. Down and go. Good set. Good night, team. Down and go. Good set. Good night, team. Hot. Good set. Like 88. Down and go. Good set. Good night, team. Down and go. Good set. Good night, team. Up and go. Good set. Good night, team.